Actually, I'd just gotten in the house when that storm came through, and my phone started ringing pretty heavily at that point, and then I was notified by our dispatch that we had a tornado or possible tornado event up in Elon area. So immediately responded up there, and it was just it was very surreal, because right as you got in the area of like Johns Creek, you could start to see all the trees and the power lines, the power poles. It looks almost apocalyptic, how the lines and everything were kind of strung across the ground, and then trying to navigate all the chaos where people were looking for loved ones. Never forget, I pulled up that morning and I saw one of the gentlemen who had pretty much lost his entire home. He had climbed up on top of a ladder into a tree and put up an American flag. And I'll never forget that waving that morning when I pulled into that subdivision. It just kind of brought everything together, because you always hear these stories of how individuals, how the community comes together, but to actually experience it. And just throughout that week, seeing all the response, all the outpouring of support, and the kids from the high school coming down, churches and different organizations. Just one of those experiences that I'll never forget. And it was a testimony to this community. But this was the first major weather event that I'd responded to with such devastation. I'd worked plenty of snowstorms and blizzards and those kind of things, but as far as just sheer devastation, that was definitely the most severe that I've been involved with. Especially when that sun came up the next morning and you could see all the damage, it was very surprising that everybody came out of there unscathed. And I mean, you've talked to different people that that lived in those neighborhoods, and they had some pretty harrowing or terrifying stories, and it was just a miracle that nobody lost a life, and there were a few injuries, but nothing as severe as loss of life.